Alright, so I'm back, and today we are going to take a look at something kind of old. And that is Transformers Energon Shockblast. And this is his satellite mode. It's pretty it's pretty lame. I'm not gonna lie, it's not very good. There's not really a whole... I mean, it's got these nice little gold chrome panels going on here, and inside here. Looking kind of like a satellite, I guess. If satellites look like this. Yeah. What can I say? It's not a very good mode. But it doesn't stop there. So let's get him into his tank mode. So first thing you want to do is flip this down. Flip all these panels in. Flip the little claws in. Like so. And then you want to take this whole section here, rotate it around. Pull this panel back. And then you can flip this in on itself. And then you push this down. It's on just a little slider right here. Push this down. It locks into place. Same thing over here. Flip that in, flip that down, like so. Then you take the leg here and you want to rotate it. Flip this panel in, like so. Rotate this in, like so. Do the same thing over here. And then the feet have two pegs in them, and you just plug those guys together like so, and there you have his tank mode. And yeah, it rolls. You can rotate the cannon if you want. It goes up and down. It's not the greatest mode ever, but for a quick comparison of vehicle modes, here he is next to the Prime Shockwave, who, you know, I mean, you got robots stretched out and laid down and then thinned out. It kind of resembles a cannon, or you got a robot that's flattened out into a tank that kind of not really resembles a tank. I mean, either way, you're getting a Cybertronian tank. Just one's a little bit more questionable, or they're both pretty questionable, to be honest. But in either one, you're not getting the G1 style blaster that he used to turn into. So flipping the prime one to robot mode real quick, and then we'll transform that guy, and I'll show you robot mode comparisons. The main reason why I got him is because, you know, a lot of people are saying, you know, Prime is the best way to go, and you know, I just don't want people to discount, or not discount. I don't want people to be like, oh well, the Energon Prime or Energon Shockwave isn't any good when he could be. I actually haven't transformed him into robot mode yet. I'm waiting to get him into robot mode so that we can see, so I can have my initial reaction of him compared to the Prime one and, you know, other things. Before we get there, he does have a missile right here, and it activates by pushing this forward. So you just push this button right here forward, and it fires a missile. I mean, simple, but also it deploys these little plates right here, which is kind of cool. Let's plug that back in. And it's green translucent plastic for the claws and for this little tip of the missile there, so it's kind of cool. But to transform him, you want to take this piece here and you just unplug this like so, fold that back, take the whole hip section, fold this up, rotate this whole assembly here around, and then you take these pieces here and you just fold them in like so. And there's this little slot right here. We'll plug in right into this slot right there. Just like so. Peg the legs, rotate the foot around, open them up, like so. Take this arm here and you rotate this down. See, this is why, sometimes I'm hesitant on getting things used. He actually is supposed to have a thumb in here, but it's not there, so. Oh well. Take the head, rotate it forward, and then you take the arm, rotate it down. And there you have Energon Shockblast in robot mode. And I do like it. The cannon arm is a little questionable, just because it's so big and clunky, but I think most shockwaves around this right about now, they have a really large left arm that doesn't quite fit. Anyway, for posability, his head does rotate right here. Rotate the camera up. It does look up. I mean, it gets a great look up. I mean, look at that. It's just all the way up. And then it does, like I said, it does rotate around as well. I mean, it can go all the way around if you wanted it to. And then the ears are posable as well. And he's got some great light piping in there too, so that green eye glows pretty good. This arm it rotates up and down on a ratchet, in and out. It does. That's pretty much it there. Each one of these claws is posable, so you can open up his claws and stuff like that. And then you can, like I said, you can fold these panels out here as well. So it makes it look like, when he's gonna blast, it really looks like he's going to just charge up a whole bunch of energy and just blow everything away. And that's actually kind of a cool look. This piece here is posable. I think that's to help stabilize it in one of the alt modes. But, whatever. And this arm here ratchets up and down. It's got the in and out swivel. Rotates. 2 hinges at the elbow, so great range of motion there. He's supposed to have a thumb in there, that was going to be posable as well, but it's not there. He's got this thing that can rotate out. It's kind of like a blast shield / blaster doohickey. Waist rotates up at the top. To rotate that one, you'd actually have to disconnect this, and then you can rotate it. But you could also rotate this waist too, and that does go all the way around. Hips are on the universal joints, so ratchets up and down, in and out, swivels right above the knee, bends at the knee. Feet are on swivels here. There's a hinge in there. I don't know where that hinge is though. Oh, it's inside the heel. So it does have a hinge in there. Swivels. The feet collapse so you can get some wider stances if you wanted to. Not epic wide stance, but you can get a little bit with that posability there. And then one other thing, if you're one of those people that really liked the movie Shockwave, who had the blaster on the wrong arm, you can actually, if you disconnect this, rotate this around, rotate his head around, and he's got the screw holes on the wrong side, but you can just flip him around, and if you really wanted to, you could probably take these panels off and flip them, but oh no, this one's too big. But I mean, you could potentially do something like that and rotate it around, and he doesn't look that bad in this one. I haven't locked these into place just because I don't want to, because I'm going to flip them right back. So I mean, yeah, you can have him both ways if you wanted to. It's not the greatest little feature. You could also, if you wanted to, flip these little panels here up, so that when they're on his back, he's got like little gold bits hanging over the top. I'm not a fan of that look. I know some people are, but so yeah, that is Energon Shockblast. Because they didn't have the title to Shockwave, but I mean, there is no question. This is the Shockwave figure. This is not a, it kind of looks like Shockwave. No, this is Shockwave. The arm is a little big, but that just kind of comes with the territory of Shockwave. So here's next to Prime Shockwave, and he definitely. I have to say, he's got more G1 elements than he does, despite the fact that he's got the big clunky arm. I mean, don't get me wrong. This Shockwave's awesome, but it's kind of more like Prime Classics. That's the best way to describe this comparison here. Seeing them together, it just makes me kind of question why I ever thought this guy was a good stand-in. This guy is just a lot better in a lot of ways. He's just, his alt modes are questionable. I prefer his tank mode over the H tank look that he has, just because it just looks more like a big tank with like a really big blaster on it, like a anti-aircraft tank, whereas he looks like a Cybertronian tank. He kind of resembles an Earth-based vehicle, kind of. So and you know me, I'm not a huge fan of Cybertronian. His satellite mode is and his robot mode, aside from the arm, he is absolutely incredible. And it really depends on, your definition of a good arm. Because, like I said, I like this look right here when you have everything opened up and, he's ready to just destroy everything in his way. I think that looks pretty impressive and intimidating. So, let's grab some other comparisons. One other issue is the fact that he can't really, when the missile's there, he can't have that claw straight down because it sets him off. But if you get rid of that missile, he can stand a little bit better. So, but that missile does stick out enough that makes it kind of offset. So let's get him out of the way. And we'll get Dirge. Dirge has been hanging out by my by my station until I can get his arm fixed. Big Bad Toy Stores sent me Thundercracker's arm instead of Dirge's arm. They apologized and they sent me another one, so hopefully I'll get that soon. So there he is next against those Seekers. Here he is with the Megatron here. So I think that's a great look. I mean, the Seekers are about the same size as him. He's just about the same size as the Megatron. And so I mean, he's a good Voyager scaled Shockwave that's got more. You know, Prime's got a lot more rounded angles to him, whereas he's got more square cut robot bit angles. I mean, I like that. You know, when it comes to Shockwave, I kind of like him big and chunky and looks like he was cut out of a piece of metal. And here he is next to the Acid Storm. So yeah, all in all, I really like him. I'm not gonna, knock him for the thumb not being there. That's not his fault. That's the person I bought it from on eBay. They said it was 100% complete, but he's not. But it's not a big enough deal for me to really raise hell about. As far as the arm cannon goes, that's the really only eyesore on this whole figure. Other than that, he's gorgeous. I've seen a lot of customizers. They'll buy a second one and take this arm here and just put it where that one is, and then convert the hand into just a singular blaster, smaller. I might do that. I might not. But as it is now, I'm probably just going to keep him in my display until somebody else comes out with something better. I saw a long time ago Mastermind Creations was planning on doing a Shockwave, which I would pick up if they did it in a Voyager scale. Or Fans Toys was teasing that they're going to make their Shockwave Voyager scale, and if they do that, I'm gonna buy that in a heartbeat. But other than that, I think I'll rate him a 9 out of 10. The 1 point off is this arm right here, but other than that, I think he's a really good figure. And you know, when he first came out, he was one of the hardest Transformers to find. I mean, just damn near impossible. He was my first hunt down figure. I mean, I had to track this guy all over the state, trying to find him. I was calling stores, and this was right when they first started doing we can't disclose what figures we have, because I think it was right around when the first Star Wars prequel came out. But anyway, and that was a bad movie. But anyway. So he it was very hard to find at the time. Now you can get them on eBay. I got this one for about $25, so it's not that bad. I've seen them go up upwards of $80 if you get them brand new in package. But I mean, if you're looking for a Shockwave, that looks a lot more G1, despite the arm, then I recommend giving this guy a shot. I really like him. I think he's a great Shockwave, and he scales very well, and he looks very G1. Whereas this guy, he scales well, but he's very clearly a Prime figure, and he is almost a head taller than the Prime one. So, I mean, if you want a big, menacing... I mean, he looks so big and menacing. I really like it. The more I'm looking at him, the more I'm really liking this thing. I don't care about that arm. I'll figure something out, or I won't. I don't care. Maybe I'll get a new arm for him. Maybe I won't. But Yeah. So I guess my question of the day here would be very obvious. Which one do you guys prefer? Which one do you think represents Shockwave better? Energon or Prime? Generations is probably one of the better Shockwaves just overall. I really like that figure. The problem is that he's so thin and hollow and small. I mean, that guy is dinky. So, I mean, if somebody were to upscale him and give him more bulk, I'd probably buy him. But as it is, he's my new Shockwave. But what is your guys' opinion? You know, which one do you guys prefer? Or is there another Voyager scaled Shockwave that would fit in the classics that I've missed? I know there's the animated Shockwave, but I wasn't a huge fan of him. And I know Mastermind Creations did the Battleship Shockwave, but he's way too big for classic scale. He's just massive, and that's too big, I think, for Masterpiece scale, if I remember correctly. I mean, he's just a massive figure. So yeah, anyway, there is my new Shockwave, aka Energon Shockblast.